Hello guys, today I'm going to talk about the shift on the demand curve. Shift on demand curve. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the outward shift first. What are the factors which will cause an outward shift? The first factor I'm going to talk about is increase in real income. So what's real income? Real income is the ability that you can buy things. So basically it's the pure income that you can use to buy things you want. Increase in average of real income will eventually increase the quantity demand because there are more consumers that are able to buy the product. The second point is increased price of substitute goods. So what's a substitute good? A substitute good is, in a normal business term, it is competitors. For example, for Coca-Cola, its substitute good is Pepsi. So increase in price of competitors' good will basically increase the quantity demand of our goods if our goods didn't change our prices. The third point is decrease in price of complementary good. The idea of complementary goods is basically opposite of substitute goods. For example, Xbox and the game disc is a complementary good. Increase of demand of Xbox will basically increase the demand of the games. So what I'm saying is decrease in price of complementary goods will increase the demand, will eventually cause an outward shift. The fourth point is development and innovation. For example, for a smartphone, iPhone and Samsung, if iPhone's got a new fancy technology, for example, Touch ID, people were more likely to purchase it. So development and innovation will basically attract people who are focused on this, will cause the outward shift. The fifth point is normal and inferior goods. To talk about normal and inferior goods, it's related to the income. A normal good is as the real income, or we said basically income. As income increased, the normal goods quantity demanded will increase. But for inferior goods, as the income increased, the inferior goods demanded will basically decrease. A good example for this is fast food. For example, let's say McDonald's in America is cheap, so it's an inferior good in America. But however, in Vietnam, McDonald's is really expensive. So as the income increased, McDonald's quantity demanded will increase as well as a normal good. Okay, next, let's talk about an inward shift. So an inward shift is basically happens at totally different ideas with the outward shift. So as I said, it's the opposite. Okay, incomes, related prices change of complementary goods and substitute goods. So and we talk about that for an outward shift, a decrease of substitute goods will shift outward for our product. But how about the price of substitute good decrease? Their quantity demand will basically increase. So which means our quantity demanded will decrease, which will cause an inverse shift. Same idea with complementary good. And a different point of different point of an inverse shift is change in tastes and preference. For example, a company called Kodak, it used to produce cameras and it used to be the biggest camera company in this world, but somehow that the technology and the preference of consumers changed, so Kodak is not live long. Now we have new camera producer, for example, Sony, Canon. It's basically changed, external change for Kodak. So now let's look at the curve. The quantity, demand, the price. Yeah, here's our demand curve. So assume it's shifting outward. What will happen is So there, the purple demand curve is the outward shift of our original demand curve. A demand curve will cause a quantity demanded pushing out, which is a good thing for the company. See, as the same price, the original curve got less quantity demanded than a new curve. How about an inverse shift? An inverse shift is basically an opposite idea, that it's lesser than the previous good, which is a disadvantage of company. So the point we're talking about is shift when prices change. Is the prices change going to affect the shift, or there's other effects that will happen after the prices change? So the determinants of a shift on the curve and a movement along the curve is basically different. That's most of those points is how people messed up. So I will explain with a graph. Here's the shift outward graph, and here's the movement graph. So for the shifting outward, the determinants will be the external effect. For example, change of preferences of consumers and incomes of consumers, and change in price of competitors' goods price. But movement is basically on the curve, which means it's an internal change. So from the lower point to the higher point, which means the quantity demand decreased because the price is changed by the company. So the company only changed the prices, which is the internal change. So different between movement and the shift is outward change and internal change. Thank you for listening. You can see our next video about more about the curve. Thank you for watching.